It seems that Donald Trump, this is umpteen times, almost we forgot on the count. When we speak of Donald Trump again claiming that he helped broker peace between India and Pakistan during the military confrontation in May, and saying that it was his intervention that forced the two countries to step back from the brink of a war. Speaking at a cabinet meeting, Donald Trump recalled how he averted a possible nuclear conflict at the start of Ukraine-Russia conflict, saying that they were ready for a trot before shifting his focus when it comes to his conversation that he believes he had with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, calling him as a terrific man.
I want to see that deal end. It's very serious what I have in mind if I have to do it, but I want to see it end. I think that in many ways he's there. Sometimes he'll be there and Zelensky won't be there. You know, it's like, who do we have today? I got to get them both at the same time. But I want to have it end. We have economic sanctions. I'm talking about economic, because we're not going to get into a world war. I'll tell you what, in my opinion, if I didn't win this race, Ukraine could have ended up in a world war. We're not going to end up in a world war anymore, but it would have ended up possibly in a world war. That would have been they were ready to trot. But just like India and Pakistan, we're going to end up in a nuclear war if I didn't stop them. You know, it's sort of strange. I saw they were fighting. Then I saw 7 jets were shot down. I said, that's not good. That's a lot of jets, you know. $150 million planes were shot down. A lot of them, 7, maybe more than that. They didn't even report the real number. And I'm talking to a very terrific man, Modi of India. And I say, what's going on with you in Pakistan? Then I'm talking to Pakistan on trade. I said, what's going on with you in India? And the hatred was tremendous. Now, this has been going on for a hell of a long time, like sometimes with different names for hundreds of years. But I said, what's going on? I said, I don't want to make a trade deal. No, we want to make a trade deal. I said, no, I don't want to make a trade deal with you. You're going to have a nuclear war. You guys are going to end up in a nuclear war. And that was very important to them. I said, call me back tomorrow, but we're not going to do any deals with you, or we're going to put tariffs on you that are so high. You were there, Howard, right? Yep. You're going to put tariffs on you that was so high, I don't give a damn. Your head's going to spin. You know?
Well, your head's going to spin. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, Rishabh, good morning. The conflict between India and Pakistan has been going on for hundreds of years. Rishabh?
Looks like Donald Trump has been talking about something which he doesn't have very much of clarity about. We have heard Donald Trump claiming the ceasefire, or claiming to mediate the ceasefire between the two countries, or for that matter, in his tone, force the ceasefire on India and Pakistan. But his stance have been changing, his goalposts have been changing, his tone has been changing. You know, from trade to tariff to how it was done, there hasn't been a consistency in the claims that Donald Trump has made. The only consistent thing that he has said is that he spoke to Pakistan about trade. India is very clear that India is not going to, given the agri sector, or for that matter dairy sector, or the labor-intensive sector. And if there is so much of negotiation still going on, one fails to understand that what was it that was, forced on India to agree to the ceasefire. And that is something that even the experts have now started questioning, that if it was a forced ceasefire and India...
So according to President Trump, all it took was 5 hours. As far as saying that he helped avert an Indo-Pakistan possible nuclear conflict, and he says it was the tariff threat that worked on both countries as he brokered a ceasefire between the two nations. Far from facts. Thank you very much for the moment, Rishabh, for joining in.